Good afternoon. Welcome to Ion Sheridan. I'm Andrew Galveo.
And I'm Stephanie Karamanico. Today's top stories: a violent storm rocks southern Ontario.
Surprise support for Rob Ford in the Toronto mayoral election.
And how about Sheridan elections? It seems most students don't even know about them.
But first, one man is dead and two others injured after a sudden storm rips through southern Ontario. A 27-year-old hydro worker from Port Elgin was electrocuted while making repairs overnight. Hit with 2,400 volts of electricity, the Ministry of Labour and the coroner's office are investigating his death. In Port Sydney, 2 people were seriously hurt after a tree fell on their car. Over 30,000 people woke up this morning to no power. Hydro One restored most service to customers already. Some roads are still closed, including Mayfield Road and Brampton. Crews continue to work to clean up the mess this hour. Hurricane Eager causing serious destruction in eastern Newfoundland. More than 30 towns have declared a state of emergency. Residents of Clarenville and the Burn and Bonavista peninsulas are among the hardest hit. Officials say damage is extensive and will be very costly to repair. Rivers are overflowing and some roads are completely submerged. Newfoundland's only link to the Trans-Canada Highway is closed. Premier Danny Williams is touring the affected areas today.
Rob Ford is still holding a commanding lead in the Toronto mayoral race, and now he has the support of his former arch-enemy, Giorgio Mamalotti. Quite a change in tone since
Today
2002.
I'll be supporting Mr. Ford because of the change that he's looking at City Hall and the fact that he has very quickly and decisively decided that services are going to play a big role in the City of Toronto, and bringing back services to the suburbs means a lot.
Quite a change in tone since 2002 when Ford called Mamalotti a, quote, Gino boy. Mamalotti's not the only backing Ford. On Tuesday, councillors Meg Delgrand and Francis Nunziati also threw their support to the controversial council, and they aren't expected to be the last. And the top 5 mayoral candidates faced off the Masonic Temple for the first televised debate since Ford took a lead in the polls. Frontrunner Rob Ford attacked on numerous occasions after promising to get rid of the city's vehicle registration tax and the land transfer tax. Ford is expected to win by a landslide. George Smitherman is a distant second, but the candidates are all saying it's not over until the votes are counted.
There's also an election underway here at Sheridan, and despite the fact that your tuition dollars pay the salary of those elected to the student union, few people even know they're supposed to vote. Jennifer Dibu-Kayal with the story.
This year's 2010 Sheridan Student Union elections are being held, and most don't know that it's happening. Events such as the elections are not well informed to students who do attend the school.
I see posters, but I really don't know who's running or what they're running for or what their beliefs are or what they want to do.
I had no idea that there was even elections except for my friend that told me about it because he was running. Other than that, I haven't been very informed.
I've seen some posters, but I really don't know anything about the people in them or anything that's going on or their purpose or anything like that.
Arthur Port, a second-year media arts student, is a candidate for VP of Promotions and is campaigning for more awareness with student events to be conducted in the school.
Overall problem is awareness. Like, the students don't know about the events and services which are there for them to, relax and take advantage of. And if there's not people there promoting the events, students don't know. And that's just the main thing.
Voting at the school will be held September 29th and the 30th in the B Wing. Students are advised to bring their student IDs as well. Speeches by the candidates will be held at the Connection Pub next Tuesday at noon. For the Eye on Sheridan, I'm Jennifer Dibu-Kayal.
Toronto's G20 summit was not short on controversies. Now former Chief Justice Roy McMurtry is leading an investigation into the infamous secret law which police used against hundreds of protesters. In the days leading up to the G20, police warned that officers had the authority to question and search anyone with 5 meters of the security fence. More than 1,000 people were arrested during the summit. Justice Roy McMurtry is expected to make recommendations to the government next spring. Dalton McGuinty is taking more heat today in the legislation over nuclear energy. Bruce Power, a privately owned company that runs out of Lake Huron, received $60 million last year despite not producing or selling any energy. This came after the energy company received a guarantee from the province that it would be paid to guarantee electricity whether the government used it or not.
Register long guns or not, the vote on the bill to abolish the federal long gun registry is happening in minutes on Parliament Hill. The Liberals and Bloc de Québécois will be voting against the motion. The wild card is the NDP. NDP leader Jack Layton is allowing his MPs to vote freely. The Conservatives say that if today's vote is lost, they'll try to eliminate the registry again at a later date.
A military base bombed early this morning in northwestern Iran, killing 10 and injuring 57 people. The base came under fire during a 30-year anniversary post-war parade. The bomb is believed to have been hidden under a bush on the parade route and detonated on a timer. The people responsible are speculated to be Kurdish separatists who have been in conflict with Iran for many years. A Canadian blogger may be facing death sentence in Iran. Two freedom of expression organizations are reporting Hussein Durkashan was arrested soon after returning to Iran in late 2008. It's believed his trial was held this summer for charges including collaborating with enemy states and insulting religious sanctity. His family has asked the Canadian government to intervene.
Canadian officials are wary about the Commonwealth Games and are delaying athletes' trips to India. The concerns arose from the horrible conditions in the athletes' village. Residents still do not have proper plumbing, electricity, internet, and mobile phone coverage. There have also been safety concerns after a pedestrian bridge collapsed, injuring 27 at the main stadium. The ceiling of the building where the weightlifting competitions are to be held also collapsed. Despite the growing criticism, India believes that the show will go on. While none of the countries have completely pulled themselves out, a few star athletes have. Landslides in Mexico City burned several cars and killed at least 5 people. The landslide is blamed on the weeks of torrential downpour, causing severe flooding in central and southern Mexico. Thousands of people are in shelters with water covering some rooftops in towns on the Gulf Coast states of Tabasco and Veracruz. This season is one of the rainiest seasons on record, with more than 70 people dead so far, and an unknown amount of civilians missing.
A century-old secret revealed today. The granddaughter of the senior officer of the Titanic says tragedy was preventable. Her grandfather, Charles Lightoller, told Patton that the crash happened because a crew member steered towards the iceberg instead of steering away from it. Patton says her grandfather hid the truth because he was afraid it would bankrupt the Titanic's owners and leave his colleagues jobless.
Coming up after the break, the Leafs are off to a bad start after losing to the Senators last night. And the hearts of 1 million fans break around the world as Justin Bieber was caught in a lip lock. Give their fans much to be happy about last night.
No, they did not, and Bautista's followers weren't too happy either. With that and more, here's RJ with the sports.
The Ottawa Senators were in town last night to kick off the preseason against the Maple Leafs. Unfortunately for Leafs fans, the blue and white looked eerily similar to the team that finished 29th in the league last year. Jonas Gustafsson and UC Ryan split the goaltending in a 5-0 loss. The two teams squared off again tonight at 7. All eyes were on Jose Bautista last night as the Blue Jays opened up their final homestand of the season against the Seattle Mariners. Bautista was looking for his 50th home run of the year, and although he went 2 for 4, the slugger will have to wait at least one more night to reach the milestone. The two teams play again tonight at 7:07 at the Rogers Center. In other sports news, former Blue Jays ace Roy Halladay notched his 20th win of the season last night as his Phillies beat the Braves 5-3. This is the 3rd time Halladay has reached the 20-win mark in his career. Also in Philadelphia, Eagles head coach Andy Reid announced yesterday that Michael Vick would replace Kevin Kolb as the starting quarterback this Sunday against the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's it for sports. For Sheridan, I'm RJ McCullough. Now over to Gabe with entertainment.
All right. Hollywood is a buzz for the return of Michael Douglas in his infamous role of Gordon Gekko in Wall Street, Money Never Sleeps, which premieres on Friday. Here's a sneak peek.
Someone reminded me I once said greed is good. Now it seems it's legal.
No matter how much money you make.
Movie rental giant Netflix launches today in Canada. Netflix president Reed Hastings announced the Canadian launch of the online movie rental service. Unlike the American service, Canadians will only be able to stream video online. This service will also give access to archives of past television programs and movies. At a retail price of $7.99 a month, the media giant stands a good chance of breaking into the Canadian market. Bieber fever is in full effect again. This time, the homegrown superstar is spotted kissing his music video co-star Jasmine V in a backseat of a car earlier this week. TMZ's Harvey Levine broke the story with a tweet, claiming to have photos of the two red-handed. Neither tween have come out to confirm or deny the claim. Oh, and that's all for entertainment. Here's Rachel with your weather update.
Do I go?
Go, go, go.
Today marks the first day of fall, and today's weather is nothing short of what we expect for this season. This afternoon, expect unsettled conditions with a 60% chance of showers and a high of 24. Tonight, a high of 18 and a low of 12. Thursday, keep that umbrella close by because scattered showers are coming our way. Tomorrow, a high of 20 degrees and a low of 12. For Friday, there will be a high of 26, but it will feel like 32. Overnight, a low of 17, and the showers will continue. For your weekend, Saturday will be a high of 17 with variable cloudiness and a low of 12. The sun will make an appearance on Sunday with a high of 17 and a low of 10. That's all the weather for today. Back to you guys.
And finally, the Guinness Book of World Records has confirmed a new 4.5-inch entry. It happens to be dragging along the ground under a little 10-year-old dog from North Texas named Puggy. That is quite a claim to fame for the little pooch, who shows his assets off with pride on his daily walk.
And that is all for today's stories. Thank you for watching.
And make sure to tune in next week.